It's Tuesday, the 8th of October 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's get cracking. Story number 1, Rio Tinto has confirmed that it's in talks to acquire Arcadium Lithium for between $4 and $6 billion US.
It's about time we had a decent takeover, Michael. The last one we had was BHP trying to buy Anglo American. That was knocked back. The Rio bid is worth between 6 and 9 billion Aussie dollars for the dual-listed miner, which trades on Wall Street and locally. Undoubtedly, it's opportunistic. Lithium prices have tumbled. Arcadium's share price is down more than 60% this year alone. Rio said that it was likely to make a bid in the near future. That sent Arcadium's share price up 46% yesterday, puts it back to where it was in June, still a long way below where it started at the beginning of the year. Rio likes lithium, and Arcadium's Argentinian assets are near Rio's lithium mine in that country. Arcadium was created last year through the merger of Allkem and Livent and has assets across Argentina, US, China, Japan, Canada, and Australia. Big lithium player, expected to supply about 5% of the globe's supply next year.
Sean, you mentioned that it's an opportunistic bid. Will it get over the line?
Don't know, but when you're a big miner like Rio needing future growth, preferably in the critical mineral sector, then downtrodden lithium miners are attractive. While analysts don't expect lithium prices to surge anytime soon, it could be years before the too much supply and not enough demand issue is sorted, there is confidence that ultimately it will be sorted, probably by the end of this decade. So buying at these prices makes sense. Shareholders already coming out wanting more money. It looks like Arcadium is definitely in play.
All right, moving on to story number 2 now, and the S&P ASX 200 closed up 0.7% yesterday to 8,205 points, just short of a new record.
Sure was. Trading was thin, and the banks were the big winners. National Australia Bank and Westpac both rose 2%. Commonwealth Bank was up 1.5%. Big day for the lithium miners on the back of that takeover we just talked about. The announcement dragged other stocks higher, including Liontown Resources, which jumped 18%. While Sayona Mining and Core Lithium both did well. Fortescue Metals Group was another strong performer. Worst on the day was West African Resources, down 18%, despite affirming guidance and reiterating that the Burkina Faso government was supportive of its gold mining operations and that it was not aware of any plans to withdraw permits. I think the fact that they actually came out and said it is the reason the share price went down.
Story number 3, house sales are falling fast, with successful auctions now at a near 2-year low.
The combined preliminary auction clearance rate last week came in at under 64%, lowest level since December 2022. There were 1,900 auctions held across the combined capitals last week. Now, the numbers were a bit lower because the Labor Day long weekend in New South Wales, ACT and South Australia and the King's Birthday long weekend in Queensland. A low preliminary clearance rate in Sydney was the main drag, 62.7%. Melbourne was 64.4%. Adelaide came in at 70%. Brisbane 61%, Canberra just under 52%. Things get back to normal this week, post-long weekend, post-football finals, 2,600 houses go up for auction. We'll find out a little bit more about how the housing market is performing over the next 7 days.
Story number 4, the Australian government has evacuated 904 Australians and immediate family members from Lebanon over the past week, and Qantas says it flew a jet to Cyprus yesterday to transport people home.
Australian government-assisted flights have been evacuating citizens, permanent residents and immediate family members to Cyprus from Lebanon. As the war intensifies, yesterday's flight is expected to return back to Sydney Airport, and Qantas has pledged to fly those passengers to their nearest home domestic airport at no cost. In addition to the flight and cabin crew, there's also a dedicated support team on board. Meanwhile, Hezbollah has praised pro-Palestinian and pro-Hezbollah protests in Australia over the weekend. It posted a picture on the social media site Telegram saying, "From Australia to the world, stop the Israeli aggression on Lebanon."
Last one, Sean, story number 5. What do you make of this one? Atlassian co-founder Scott Farquhar and his wife Kim Jackson have sold their unused, I'll emphasise that point, unused Point Piper waterfront mansion Elaine for about $130 million.
The sale clocks the top deal of 2024, and at that price is either equal to or slightly above the current national house price record, according to a report in the Fin Review. The exact price is undisclosed, but the Fin's reporting sources saying that the property exchanged for about the same amount as a couple paid for another mansion nearby back in 2022. That's where the $130 million comes from. The Farquhar Jacksons paid $71 million for Elaine, which was built in 1863. They paid that amount in April 2017. They haven't lived in it. It's now a dilapidated residence. Why not get rid of it, I suppose? Australia's overall residential record sits at $140 million paid for a combined penthouse and sub-penthouse atop Lendlease's 1 Sydney Harbour at Barangaroo. It was purchased off the plan in 2019, still to settle, so no one's living in that one either.
Goodness me. There we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Tuesday, the 8th of October, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.